to read that book on a tape. The offender is allowed to write a message in the book on one page, and we review it before it's mailed. They also can speak a message in the tape before they read the book, and then we mail the tape and the book to the child. We do this monthly, and they're allowed to participate monthly if they're eligible. And all of the programs that are operating in the state of Missouri have as the eligibility criteria 90 days free of violations. Some institutions add on other criteria, but all have that one. We're the new kids on the block. At Chillicothe, we've been doing this program for 6 months. I'm the site coordinator there. In that time, we have had 30 to 35 women each month. In the state of Missouri, there are 12 programs operating in men's facilities, and then, of course, the one in Chillicothe, and the first one that started the program in 1998 at the women's facility in Vandalia. In addition, there are 2 programs operating in federal prisons in Illinois. This program is sponsored by Liberty Bell Ministries that's out of St. Louis, thus the connection with Illinois. We did a survey in 2007 in Vandalia, the program that had been operated the longest, and 3 results were found that we think are valuable. One was that the offenders themselves improved their reading ability. Frequently, our volunteers read through the book with the offender first. Sometimes the offender will say, I want to read it to you before I tape it. Sometimes they want the volunteer to read it for them, but there's almost always a little bit of tutoring going on. So that was one result, that the offenders actually have improved their own reading ability. The second was that they are finding that the children have increased their enjoyment and pleasure of reading, which is very critical for their own education. And of course, we believe that it keeps the connection or the bond between parent and child. They're getting to hear their parents' voice, even though they don't see them, and they're getting to have this monthly connection with mom, grandma, aunt. The last result that is particularly important is that it serves as a high motivator to remain detention-free, and that really is a huge advantage from the perspective of Department of Corrections. Yeah, that'd be fine. You want to show the video? Yeah, perfect time. Statewide, there are 7 institutions in Missouri that do not have this program at this time, but DOC is interested in implementing it in those, and so I think that will occur, I would say, within the next 2 to 3 years. And the only other thing I would add, I really do want to emphasize that, especially for the 2 of you, we really do need volunteers. All of my time is volunteer time. There are about 70 people across the state that put a lot of time into this, and it's very rewarding. Also, if any of you belong to churches or clubs that would like to help this, we need gently used books, and if those are donated, then we take them through a process where we clean them and prepare them for the program. Steve?
Would you go ahead and state your name and for the camera?
My name is Becky Steele. I am the site coordinator for the StoryLink program in Chillicothe, and I also do circles of transformation in the institution in St. Joseph.
Good afternoon. Again, I am Vivian Fry-Perry. I am from St. Louis, and I manage the program called Girl Scout Beyond Bars, the only one that meets in Missouri, and we meet at Vandalia. The program started in 1992 in Maryland, so it's 18 years old, but we didn't start in Missouri until 1996. It was funded in part by a grant from the National Institute for Justice. It is 14 years old now in Missouri. We presently have 63 girls in the program. We generally meet in the city of St. Louis. We have 2 different meetings. We meet in the city of St. Louis. We have 4 meetings a month with the girls. I meet with them by age level. And we also meet at Vandalia twice a month. Generally, we always go on the 2nd Saturday, but some 4th Saturdays there are conflicts, so we meet twice a month. Some of the girls would not get to see their mothers if it were not for the Girl Scout visits. So we are a traditional troop. We do traditional things. We go camping. In fact, I went camping in June for 2 weeks, and it's probably my last time going. But I got dehydrated and sick, and then the older girls didn't want to participate, so I said, well, we won't go camping again. But Girl Scout, let me tell you a little bit about Girl Scouts. I'm on the eastern side of the state. Girl Scouts of Eastern Missouri was result of a merger in 2008 of Becky Thatcher Girl Scouts in Hannibal and the Girl Scouts of Greater St. Louis. We serve about 65,000 girls, and we're supported by about 17,000 volunteers. While I manage the program, I could not do it alone. I have about 25 volunteers who help me. We have a cookie manager. We have people who only go to Vandalia with me. Some only meet in the city of St. Louis. Some meet with the younger girls, some like the older girls. So I have a wide variety of volunteers. The original goals of the program were to preserve the mother-daughter relationship, reduce the trauma of separation, minimize the risk of behaviors by introducing girls to positive values through Girl Scouting, and provide opportunity for girls to share positive experiences with their mothers. Girl Scouts has shifted a little bit. Our mission statement has, I would say, been refined. We focus more on leadership, so now we provide a lot of leadership experiences for the girls, so that's an added focus for the girls. Funding for the program originally was through grants, but Girl Scouts of Greater St. Louis and now Girl Scouts of Eastern Missouri are totally committed to the program, so I have a budget. The biggest part of that budget is transportation. We have a bus that takes us from St. Louis to Vandalia on those 2 weekends that we go. And for the in-town meetings and to get to the bus, the girls are picked up by cab, so that's a big part of the budget. So transportation is not an issue. On the trips to Vandalia, I provide them with breakfast. I call it a bag of sugar because they don't eat much of anything else. It's Pop-Tarts and donuts, but I provide breakfast for them, a snack, and I provide lunch for them. And around holidays, I give them a little extra things, you know, like chocolate bunnies for Easter, whatever. But all of that comes from the budget. I have a few statistics on the troop. Right now, the troops are divided. There are 6 levels of Girl Scouting, kindergarten and 1st grade, and I have 5 of those. 2nd and 3rd graders are brownies. I have 16 of those. No, I have 10 of those, I'm sorry. Juniors are 4th and 5th graders. I have 5 of those. Cadets, that's my group. 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, I have 22 of those. They give me the most grief, that's why I'm shaking my head. But I have seniors, or 9th and 10th graders, I have 17, and 11th and 12th graders, I have 7. I've only been doing the job since January of 2005. Prior to that, in my other life, I worked 30 years for 21st Circuit in Clayton, Missouri. So since that time, I've had 11 girls to graduate from high school. Statistics for the Girl Scouts of Eastern Missouri show that troop retention is about 68%. But for this troop, our troop number is 196. For Troop 196, our retention rate is about 84%. The girls find that once they're in the troop, they can talk about, some say their mothers are at college, some say their mothers are visiting relatives down south or whatever, but in this troop, everybody knows that their mother is incarcerated, so they just kind of let their hair down, and they have formed their own support system. So they come to the troop. I even have 3 who have graduated. They have come back to volunteer. They want to be members of the troop. But I told them once you graduate, you can't be a member of the troop. So they have come back to volunteer. So the girls enjoy coming. They don't care what I do, whatever it is. They just show up, you know. And if I don't call them or if I don't send them a notice of a meeting, they call me. So.